Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today I wanted to do a really quick review on Justice League Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #1. This is a crossover issue published by Boom Studios and DC. And yeah, it's the first time that we get the Power Rangers and the Justice League together in one series. Alright, so let's get into this review. Issue 1 of the comic is published with one standard cover showcasing a group shot of both the Justice League and the Power Rangers, and it's also published with 6 variant covers, each showcasing one of the Power Rangers teamed up with one of the Justice League members. Those team-ups include the Red Ranger with Wonder Woman, the Green Ranger with Superman, the Blue Ranger with Cyborg, the Yellow Ranger with Green Lantern, the Pink Ranger with Batman, and the Black Ranger with the Flash. Like many of these 90s team-up comics, what this comic really draws on is the nostalgia of the franchises. So we have the very 90s stylized Mighty Morphin Power Rangers teamed up with the Justice League. It's two properties which probably a lot of us never thought that we would get together as one. It kind of draws back to any Power Rangers fans to the similarity between the Power Rangers in Space episode where they teamed up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The comic gets right into the action. In the very first panel of the comic, we actually see Superman with the Black Ranger Zach, and they're having a intense interaction. So it really gets us moving. It really gets us hyped for this comic. It also introduces a lot of questions. The most intense of those questions is, why is Angel Grove destroyed? And I really hope that this is setting the precedent for the rest of the series. In that very first panel, Zach is struggling with this guilt over the destruction of the city of Angel Grove, and it's a very interesting thing because then later on when it's revealed what was he upset about, it's something that we can both relate as the reader, but also something that's very much Power Rangers. And I have to say that this is one thing that I find definite about this series, is that this is very much Power Rangers series. At least from this first comic, we really see that the focus is on the Power Rangers, what they're dealing with both as individuals and as a team, and it kind of sets the stage for the Justice League to be a sort of mentor to the Power Rangers. Which makes sense because the Justice League is a very well-established property. Not that Power Rangers isn't a well-established property, but Justice League is kind of a little bit more high caliber than Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So if we're gonna have a team up of the two, yeah, we're gonna expect that the Justice League is gonna take the mentor position in this team up. The first member of the Justice League that we're introduced to as readers in this comic is Superman, but he is not actually the first member of the Justice League which the Power Rangers themselves are introduced to. That would be Batman. I think that that's an important thing to do, since Batman isn't metahuman and has no enhanced abilities as in strength or reflexes, anything that's superhuman anyway. He does make a better match for the Power Rangers, because although the Power Rangers are themselves, and it's stated in the comic book, enhanced humans, the truth is that in most actuality they're not to the level of, say, Superman. So if they were to have encountered in some kind of physical altercation Superman first, I hate to say this, but it'd probably end pretty quick. So the fact that they meet Batman first, it makes a lot of sense. It becomes that the Power Rangers become kind of like the bridge between Batman's physical ability and some of the more higher level, high caliber Justice League members such as Superman and Wonder Woman. One thing that's apparent from page 1 is that the characterization of each of the Power Rangers, Zach, Trini, Kimberly, Billy, Jason, and Tommy, the characterizations are really on point, especially for Zach, since most of the focus on this comic book is on him. It's really an interesting thing to see that they got his characterization correctly. When you read the comic, you can kind of almost hear it in the Zach from the TV show's voice, and I really appreciate that. I think that attention to detail is something that's really, really important in these kind of team-up comics. While most of the characterization is focused on the Rangers, we do get 3 of the Justice League members in this first issue. We get Batman, Superman, and the Flash, and I do think that they're gonna get the Justice League members correct, because number one, I couldn't see DC letting them gloss over the Justice League members, but then at the same time there's a moment when we're introduced to the Flash that is kind of a very hilarious kind of moment in the comic, where if you read the comic you'll see what I'm talking about, where he's introduced in a way that leaves everybody dumbfounded. It's kind of hilarious. Now, as we could expect both from Boom Studios and from DC Comics, the artwork in this is phenomenal, but a lot of the artwork is very much in line with the Boom Studios Power Rangers series. The style of it, the whole feel of each individual panel is very much in line with what we're used to now in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic series. And again, that highlights how this comic is very much Power Rangers focused. It does include the Justice League, at least in this first issue. It more focused on the Power Rangers. I'm sure that we'll get more of the Justice League later, especially as the other members of the Justice League are introduced. The comic ends in a very preposterous kind of Power Ranger sort of way, and I actually appreciate that. The writer in this even takes the opportunity through the Flash to kind of highlight that preposterous sense of what's going on at the end of the comic. I think we have a lot of good things to look forward to in this team up. I think we have a lot of the light-hearted Power Rangers kind of camp being introduced into the Justice League, more serious tone of that series, and I think bringing the two together is going to be something really special, and I actually look forward to reading the rest of this series. So if you're a fan of Power Rangers, or if you're a fan of the Justice League, I really highly recommend you picking this issue up. I think it's something that draws on our nostalgia. It's something that we can enjoy, and if you're one of those 90s kids that grew up with the Power Rangers, or you're even one of those 90s kids that grew up with the Batman animated series, I'm sure this is something that you'll enjoy. So yeah, I highly recommend the Justice League Power Rangers Team Up comic. I can't wait for the next couple of issues, and I look forward to bringing you more reviews on them. If you guys read the comic, I'd love to hear what you think. Leave a comment down below and let me know. Did you guys enjoy it? Was it good? Was it what you expected? Were you let down? Alright guys, have a good one.